Jets complex this week, but according to a local report, the Jets have not decided which quarterback they're targeting with the 3rd overall pick. So, which quarterback is the best fit here for the Jets? What do you think, Peter?
The Mayfield stuff is really, really interesting.
It really is. I love it.
It is. He has all the personality in the world. He is one of the most accurate passers we've ever seen play college football. The personality in New York City is a match made in heaven. This guy, I'm told that...
For us or for the team?
For us, 100%.
What are you told?
You have to be selfish here.
Of course. What are you told?
There's two things here.
What are you told?
One thing is this. I'm told that every time he's meeting with these teams, he blows them away. Like, better than any other quarterback in the room. Whether that's an act, whether that's you fall in love with the charisma, the confidence, teams are loving what they're meeting with Baker Mayfield. But not just with the interactions and the leadership and all that. On the board, this guy apparently is a whiz kid when it comes to drawing up offenses and showing how it works. Here's the other thing, and I don't know. I've talked to Matt Hamilton before the show. I think in the history of the NFL, at least in the modern era, I don't think there's ever been a quarterback taken in the top 10 who's under 6'1". Mm-hmm. Like, Drew Brees was a 2nd-round pick. Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round pick. Colt McCoy, Doug Flutie. This guy is 6 feet and barely 6 feet. I don't know if you can draft a guy at that height, and as superficial as that sounds, because he's such a great passer, that is really rich at 3rd overall for a guy where there's a long history of short quarterbacks not being drafted that high.
And the footwork, too. I mean, that's also a question.
Yeah. I don't think you can hold that against him, though, right? Like, it's not his fault he's 6 foot tall, right?
This is just the way we're born.
Yeah, it's just the way he's born. Like, you can't hold it against him. He still has put up all the numbers, the stats, won the Heisman Trophy. I think he's getting slept on by a lot of people because obviously we're talking about Sam Darnold more, we're talking about Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, the guys that are taller, have the bigger arms. But again, we cannot forget about Baker Mayfield and what he did all season long.
3rd overall is rich, Reggie.
It is.
I mean, he is really accurate, though.
Listen, there's a million guys and a million women everywhere who talk about accuracy and footwork, and they're all great at it. Just look at the personality perspective. All right, let's look at the New York Jets. You want to have someone who's going to be with you the next 15 years. Look at the same team, same town. New York Giants. Eli Manning. Peter, I wouldn't say he's terribly charismatic, okay? You know what I'm saying? Steady, understated. He's not the kind of guy who, I don't know, would go on TV and wear a 3-piece suit with a giant suede tie. Giant suede tie.
Right,
oh, my
velvet,
goodness.
I'm pretty sure.
Velvet. Oh, my even crazy.
Yeah.
Suede, velour, whatever it is. That's why I'm sorry. I can't speak velvet. That's why I bring up Josh Allen. Josh Allen seems to me maybe cut in that Eli Manning mold. Maybe I don't want someone who's charismatic. I don't want someone who's a soundbite. I want someone who played football at Wyoming, Peter's from a cantaloupe farm. He may be the best fit, who also has the biggest arm. I like Josh Allen. It's not good for this table, but it might be good for that team.
But can he handle the big New York market?
Right?
Can he
Like,
handle
we don't
that?
say nothing.
He's coming from a small town. Can he handle
and his
the
father
New York
wasn't
media?
Archie Manning.
Exactly. The second he throws a couple interceptions or a couple incomplete passes, and people are writing stuff about him, in this paper right here, will he be able to handle it? And that's why I think Josh Rosen would be maybe a better fit because he's coming from the LA market. He's played in the big market. He can handle all this stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of people compare his personality, Josh Rosen, to Jay Cutler. And if you look at the offensive coordinator with the Jets, Jeremy Bates, he spent a lot of time with Jay Cutler in both Chicago and Denver. So that could be a nice little match there.
It is. The Josh Rosen thing to me is a huge variable in this draft. He could be a guy who goes as high as #1 overall, and he could fall to the back of the top 10. I'm very curious, but the Jets, #3, does seem like a decent fit.
I have another quarterback I want to talk about here.
Okay.
Johnny Manziel. He made his spring league debut over the weekend. He went 9 of 15 for 83 yards and a touchdown. Also took 3 sacks. He fumbled once, almost twice. Here he is after the game.
You know, I've repaired a lot of relationships that needed work. I've repaired a lot of myself that needed a lot of work. And I'm able to run back on the field, something that I didn't know if I'd ever get a chance to do again. So it's disappointing in some of the things that happened, but like nevertheless, like this is a huge step for me. Like I put pads back on. A lot of people just even wrote me off to even get to this point. So, you know, I'm definitely emotional about it. I'm definitely happy about it. This isn't the end goal for me, but you know, I'm having fun again.
So the Johnny Manziel redemption tour, it continues. He didn't really look comfortable, though, until the end of the game. What did you guys think?
First of all, I'm all about comeback season. I hope it works. I'm rooting for it. If I'm waking up this morning, I'm like, what the hell did Johnny Manziel? What was that game? What was that league? Was the fire hydrant the goal line or the tree? The parents came out and they held up their hands to be the goalpost. I also want to know if the Manziel family brought orange slices and Capri Suns for halftime, because that's what it seemed to be for me. Is there a pizza party afterwards? cameras? Do we have a reporter there? What is this
Everybody
game?
gets a trophy, Kyle.
Everybody? Participation trophies.
Everyone, yeah.
Well, I mean, he has the Heisman, now he has the participation too. I don't know how much we're learning from this. I hear he kept rolling out and just throwing to his right every single time.
So
Canada's calling this dude.
completely in on him.
I want him to come back. Of course I want him to come back, but like I'm watching here, I don't know if this is the AA playoffs or the second round or whatever it is. I don't know how much we can possibly glean. Look at the stands. There's Heisman winner is playing quarterback, and look at the stands.
You're right. It does seem.
Oh my goodness.
It seems out of place for a Heisman.
You got to start somewhere again.
You're right.
If Colleen's right, you got to start somewhere, and I like the fact he's out there doing this. A lot of guys have too much pride for this.
Right.
Tim Tebow would never play in one of these things, right? Vince Young is not playing in the 7-on-7 leagues. Like, this guy
But
is saying,
he didn't have to. Like he's not in that same.
I guess,
spot.
but this guy's
was really open.
At one point, he was trying to get back in the league, though.
Yeah.
He's eating his humble pie. He's like, I've got to start. I mean, Drake at the bottom, whatever it is.
I like nice, Peter.
I think the one thing he said at the end of that interview was key. He said, I'm having fun. That's the most important part, is getting back to getting that passion for football back in his mind. Right?
Here's what the question
Yes,
is.
you're right.
Is he going to be in a camp this summer? Is this enough
An
for a
NFL
team?
camp?
Yeah.
This is not enough yet. No, this is
this
only
is
one
not
football
enough.
game. But he's got to go play more games. He's got to show consistency. We saw him take a couple bad sacks. So there's some things that he can improve, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
And there's another game, right? There's a sequel. Like they're
Thursday.
They're
There's
playing
a couple
Bayside or
more
something. Who
games.
are they playing the next one?
Bayside.
Yeah, I don't know who they play, but obviously, Peter, I think to your question, like, is the team going to bring him in? Obviously, based on this, no. There's a long way to go in comeback season.
Yeah.
I still think comeback season SCN goes through Canada. I truly want that for him.
No,
if
I
we
agree.
look at it as like a minor leagues for him, spend a whole year there, be in every film session, be a team leader, light it up, and then I think in 2019 I can see it.
The issue is he looked the same. He had the same issues that he had before when he played in 2015.
yeah.
He had the same ball security issues. He still escaped too early out of the pocket. He wasn't going through his progressions. It was the same exact problems that he was criticized for before.
Is he a jerk? That's what I want to know. I mean, the football stuff you can work. Are you a jerk or are you a different guy? I mean, he was a jerk when he was there. He was mean and he treated football like it was a second thing. He admitted it himself. So if he has changed his off the field and he is 100% committed, of course I want to see a comeback. And of course we love comeback stories here in America. The question is he willing to put in the work? And he's starting it right now. I like it.
Yeah, everybody loves a comeback. How about these guys? Maybe they'll have a comeback. Coming up, Andy Dalton and Joe Flacco. They both missed out last year.